Course 3, we're going to work with inequalities, which work a lot like equations today. Remember, an equation would say 6 equals 6 because it's equal equation. Or we could say x plus 6 is 6, or sorry, x plus 6 is 6 plus x because x's have to be equal. They're the same letter. That must all be true. But if we wanted to do an inequality, maybe it would be x plus 6 is greater than 6. It's not equal. It's unequal. It's unequal. It's an inequality. And we actually solve these very similar to equations we've learned, where you can just subtract 6 on both sides. X is greater than 0. Notice I kept this symbol all the way through. And it makes sense why that would be true. X is greater than 0. Something we do need to understand, as said in example 1, is when you multiply two sides by a negative, you have to be careful about something. Because watch, if I multiply both of these by -1, that's simple. We have now flipped them to their opposites. Is -6 greater than -5? No. So when you multiply by a negative, and for this case divide by a negative, you have to flip the sign. Okay? So that then we would be -6 is less than -5. Because negatives are opposites, we cannot maintain the inequality sign in the direction that it starts when we do this. It flips everything. Greater thans become less thans. All right? So in example 2, we're solving -3x, take away 10 is greater than 8. Right? When you add 10 to both sides, like we've done before, that doesn't change anything. Just like when we did this one, it didn't change anything. -3x is still greater than 18. But divide by -3x, we are flipping to an opposite. So we have to flip the sign too. Divide by -3. If you work with a negative, especially a negative coefficient, the coefficient being this number that's connected to the variable, divide both sides by -3 means you flip the sign. X is less than -6. Graphing means on one of these charts, these number lines, open circle because it does not include -6. It's less than -6, and then we go to the left because it's a less than. Or when the x is on the left side, you can just follow the direction of this symbol. So, in short, today we're learning, be careful. When you divide or multiply by a negative, when you're working with that coefficient in an inequality, you better make sure to flip the sign. First distribute -5x plus 15, 5x minus 15. Sign's still the same. Then we move over the 5x to the left side by subtracting. Just subtracting, not multiplying or dividing. So it's still greater than. We take away the 15 from the left. Okay. Balancing the scale here. Now, red alert, right? -10x is greater than -30. What did they do? To get x by itself, they divided by a negative. So they reversed or flipped the comparison symbol. Notice? And then they graphed that to be a less than instead. Open circle again. Okay, so feeling good about that? Just got to watch that. Why don't you pick just one? Practice.